Hey everyone, it's your girl Layla. Welcome back to my channel.
Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Ooh.
Okay, so if you guys can see from the title, this is not clickbait at all. It's the truth. I am a full-time YouTuber slash social media influencer. I just cringe every time I say that. I think I've mentioned it before. I do cringe every time I have to call myself an influencer. But that's kind of what I am, I guess, because I do YouTube videos. I have been doing this full time since the beginning of June. So you guys are finally getting a life update. I have updated my Patreon members on what's been going on with my life and all of that stuff, but I haven't told you guys just yet. I wanted to not really keep it a secret or anything like that. I wanted to just collect my thoughts a bit more and really only tell you guys what I guess a watered down version of it is, because I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to do anything to like blast my job or like anything like that. I wanted to kind of collect my thoughts and be less emotional throughout this video, because it's definitely been a roller coaster for me ever since the beginning of June slash like the end of May sort of thing is when this all started. So yes, I am a full-time social media influencer slash YouTuber with 6,000 subscribers, and that is so scary to say that. And I don't condone any of you that, you know, maybe are close to 6,000 subscribers. Maybe you're like at 5,500 or something like that, and see the title of this video and think, oh my gosh, when I get to 6K, I can finally quit my job and do YouTube full-time. That is not the case. I'm not recommending anyone do that at all. I think the only time that I would ever consider doing YouTube full-time is when I get to 100,000 subscribers. I'm putting that into the universe, okay? I'm putting that into the universe. I'm manifesting it. One day when I get to 100K subscribers, then I will, you know, consider quitting my job, going casual, not picking up shifts that much. I will only consider that when I get to 100K subscribers. But this is a story. This is about what's happening right now. So I know a lot of you might have questions on the title. You're probably like, can you sustain your life right now with 6,000 subscribers? No, I can't. I think it's a great accomplishment. I think that 6,000 is a lot, and I thank all of my subscribers for being here and going through this journey with me. It's been great. It's been a roller coaster of ups and downs with my YouTube channel, especially in the past year. But I do want to thank you guys all. I 100% appreciate every single one of you. And no, it's not sustainable to quit your job or to do YouTube full-time. At 6,000 subscribers, I cannot sustain my life on the money that I'm getting paid from YouTube. Last year, at a point, I was getting there. I was getting paid quite a bit on here with AdSense, with other social media ventures that I was doing with sponsored content and all of that stuff. I was doing pretty great last summer until my channel started getting strikes on it and all of that stuff. And this year has been up and down, up and down. There's been a couple months where I didn't get paid. Like I'd get paid and then I wouldn't get paid, and then I would get paid and then I wouldn't. So yeah, it's not sustainable. With 6,000 subscribers and the views that I'm currently getting on my videos, it is not sustainable at all. So that's that. This is not an advice video. This is not how you can quit your job when you get to 6K subscribers. This is just my story and what happened to me. So let's rewind a little bit, okay? So I used to work night shifts and I used to hate them. I worked night shifts for a good 3.5 years, and I mostly worked them because I wanted money. And working night shifts, you get paid more money, right? My health was slowly starting to dwindle. I did talk about this in a previous video about how I have thalassemia, which is a form of anemia, and I've had that ever since I was 13. Thought I could handle working nights, and realized like 2.5 years in that I just couldn't do it anymore. And I spent a good 1.5 years looking for jobs within my company that I could work evenings and days so I wouldn't have to work nights anymore. Once I finally found that, it was temporary. It was supposed to go until June of this year. I always knew it was temporary. Shortly after I took that job, my department came up with a permanent position that was a evenings, days job. So of course I applied for it, got it because I've already had experience there. I'm already trained. So I went back to my current department with a permanent days, evenings job. And it was great and I loved it. And back in January, an opportunity came up in my department, which was like a promotion. It was like a step up from the job that I was doing to something else. It would mean that I would have my own cubicle, which I decorated, made it like home for the past like 6 months. It was great, but it was also a temporary job and I knew that. And I just wanted it for the experience because it was a great opportunity. The agreement was basically, even in my interview, I was like, am I going back to my permanent days, evenings job after this position ends? It was understood. My manager even said, yes, you'll be going back to your permanent position, your days, evenings position once this ends because that is your permanent job. So that was completely understood at the time. And so I definitely learned a lot. I was basically thrown into the deep end and I learned so much in the 6 months that I was in that role for, and I really, really enjoyed it. So at the end of May, I found out that the person I was taking over for was coming back early. And she was coming back, I think they gave me like 3 weeks notice or whatever. I was definitely a little sad because that position was supposed to end in December. So I was supposed to have it basically for 11 months, not quite a full year, but it was 11 months. And it got cut short after the 6-month mark, which, you know, like I was sad, but I was ready to go back to my permanent job because I was working rush hour hours every day and it really sucked being in traffic for like an hour to get home every single day. So I was really looking forward to going back to just my regular position. And I found out a week later, literally after my camping trip to BC, that I wasn't going back to my permanent job. And I didn't think that this was something that was legal, like that they would be allowed to do, but apparently it is. I'm not gonna go into the reasons why this happened or why I was forced to not have my job. You can check out my Patreon video. I do have a free trial going on right now. It is a 7-day free trial membership, so you can watch that video. I did an update on there with like, I didn't go into super in-depth detail, but I did talk about why they made me switch my hours with someone else in that video, but I'm not gonna go into that in this video, if that makes sense. So if you guys want to see that, definitely go to my Patreon. Like I said, 7-day free membership. You can binge watch all of my videos on there. I do a lot of DH content. I was told that I would have to take this person's night shifts, that they basically put our 2 jobs together, like all of our hours together, and then split it. So I don't know if that really makes sense, but my old position was deleted without my consent or anything like that. They didn't ask me, they told me that I would have to just take over this person's nights because they couldn't do them. And I was like, wait a minute. I spent 1.5 years looking for a job, coming back to this department to do a days evenings job permanently. Like, I spent all this time looking for this job, applying for this job, getting this job, and you're saying that I don't have this job anymore, you're taking it away from me. It made no sense to me. I was very upset. I had basically this like emotional breakdown at work. I couldn't concentrate on my work. I was literally in rooms crying, and there was this one day I spent like 8 hours crying, and all of my lashes pretty much came off on one of my eyes. And you can see that in, if you go back a couple of videos, even my Gap Peak video, my after hike summary for that one, I was wearing eyeliner in that video because literally to disguise the fact that I was missing so many lashes on one side because I literally was crying for 8 hours straight. My Garmin watch was telling me that I was stressed out and to do some breathing exercises to calm down a little bit. It was a mess, and I literally have never felt so disrespected in my life. I've never felt so disrespected from a company that I worked for, that I gave my all to. And the reason why I can't work nights, you guys already know, it was because of my health and the fact that I have thalassemia. So I do have a medical condition that's stopping me from working nights. I have doctor's notes to back it up. This is something that I felt like they swept under the rug, that this was an easy solution, just giving me this girl's hours and giving her my hours, even though I have seniority over her. I am currently on stress leave because of my breakdown at work. I'm just not mentally able to, even right now, I feel like my voice is a little shaky because I get emotional every time I have to relive this whole situation and relive how it made me feel, how this company has treated me. You guys don't know who I work for or where I work or anything like that. I've kept that, you know, my personal life. Like, I don't talk about that here on YouTube. I don't talk about where I work or anything like that. So this video shouldn't be an issue. But I'm telling you the story of what they did to me and how I ended up being a full-time YouTuber. I'm not mentally well enough to be at work right now until this whole thing is solved, and I feel like it's always been like one step forward, two steps back sort of thing. Like, I was supposed to fight for my job back a couple days ago. I was supposed to go through this whole thing that I'm not going to talk about, but I was supposed to go through this whole thing to get my job back, but they needed a clearance note from my doctor to go to this thing, and they told me like 2 days before, and it was a long weekend. So it was the end of day Thursday. They told me it was Canada Day long weekend. Clinics are closed on Monday. I couldn't get my note, and now they're postponing it even longer. Until then, until this is sorted, I am gonna be a full-time YouTuber, social media creator, until everything is sorted out. And if not, honestly, I do have future plans maybe to go back to school, because I mean, I never saw myself going back to school. I saw myself doing this job until I retired. I think it's time. I think this whole thing was like a sign. And honestly, I gave so much of myself to my job over the past 12 years. Yes, I've been there for 12 years and they still screwed me over. But I've given so much of myself this past 12 years, picking up shifts, you know, people didn't want because they were short. There was this one summer that I worked most weekends, most days of the week, because people were calling in sick and they had no one to cover. Like, I gave so much of myself working night shifts, working, you know, 6 nights in a row, being away from my family during those 6 night shifts, because, you know, I'm so tired. I can't really do anything else with my life other than go to work. And, you know, holidays that I didn't get to spend at home, Christmases, New Year's, birthdays. This is basically what they've done to me. That is basically a life update video for you guys, slash, you know, why I'm doing YouTube full-time for the moment. I don't know how long I'm gonna be doing YouTube full-time for. That is all for this video. I'm sorry that it, you know, it started off pretty well, but then I felt like I got a little bit emotional toward the end. But it's a lot. I'm dealing with a lot at the moment, and sometimes when I don't want to edit videos, when I don't want to post videos, it's not because I'm lazy or anything like that. It's because I'm like actually going through something and it's hard. So that is all for this video. If you guys are not already subscribed, please go ahead, click that subscribe button below. I upload 3 times a week, Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you guys can definitely support me in other ways if you want to. I do have a buy me a coffee link down in the description box below. Also, I have a Patreon membership, and I'm hoping to do a channel membership soon. If it's not already up right now, it will be up soon. Also, I do have super thanks enabled as well, so if you guys are inclined to help me out a bit, being unemployed and all that, it kind of is a little weird. It's a little weird. So that is all for this video. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.
I let you